Welcome now to a very special episode of Talking Heads. Joining us for this is the President of Russia, Mr. Vladimir Putin. Mr. Putin, thank you so much for joining us for this very special episode of Talking Heads. We were speaking about a unipolar world and a multipolar world. Do you believe that America's actions against Iraq, at least its stated policy against Iraq, represents a unipolar, hegemonic interest, which is very different from what Russia believes to be the correct course of action?
Мы согласны с нашими американскими партнерами.
We share the position of our U.S. partners in the sense that we must make sure that Iraq is not developing weapons of mass destruction and has no such weapons in its possession.
Несмотря на то, что мир сильно изменился,
and although the world has changed, the tools, the international instruments that we used before to improve international relations can continue to be used and should be used and adapted to the present-day situation, and they can be further improved. And here, what I have in mind is first and foremost such instruments, such tools as the United Nations.
но мы при этом считаем, что ни в коем случае нельзя забывать.
But at the same time, we do believe that we should not forget about other hotbeds existing in the world that should pose a certain threat. And one of such concerns, other concerns that we have, is the weapons of mass destruction in Pakistan. We have to have a clear picture of where those weapons are, in what status, in what condition they are, and what will happen to them in the future. And there are also some other regions of the world that we are concerned about, no less than about Iraq.
So do you believe that Osama bin Laden is alive in Pakistan, and would you label Pakistan a state sponsor of terrorism?
Мы дружим с Индией не против кого-то.
We are friends with India, or we maintain our friendship with India not against somebody, but precisely for the purpose of being friends with the country and further continuing our friendly relationship.
Но негативное влияние в прежние годы.
But the negative influence that Pakistan used to exercise in neighboring Afghanistan in previous years, including support of Taliban, are well-known facts.
Ясно, и мы это хорошо знаем, что Осама бен Ладен не
And
просто
it is quite obvious, and we are fully aware of the fact that Osama bin Laden not just actively cooperated with Taliban, but he was part of the whole system.
President Putin, in the past, you have spoken of a strategic relationship between India, China, and Russia. What really do you mean by this strategic relationship?
Китай наш сосед, Индия.
China is our neighbor, and India is one of our major international partners and a country relations with which are of utmost importance to us, and we think that we should try to develop our bilateral relations with each of these countries, because each relationship is of paramount importance for the Russian Federation.
Наша позиция заключается в том, что
And our position is as follows. We are convinced in the need for positive development of relations between Russia and India, Russia and China and India. And I think that all the parties concerned are interested in that development, all the parties within this triangle.
вместе с тем я не думаю, что мы должны забегать вперед.
At the same time, I think that we shouldn't get ahead of time or move ahead without proper preparation. We should move ahead step by step in a staged way, trying to develop harmonious relations, preparing all the necessary conditions. But of course, our aspiration, overall aspiration, should be to develop our relations in as positive a way as possible.
Why then, sir, if each relationship is of paramount importance to Russia, does Russia provide China with weaponry similar to what it provides India, for example, Sukhoi 30 fighters, Kilo-class submarines, advanced destroyers, when Russia is aware that India and China have a long-running border dispute?
Россия активный участник рынка вооружений.
Russia is an active player in international weapons market. And we are among the leaders in the world in that area, but we are not the first. We are not in the first position in arms sales. There are some countries that sell much more weapons to great amounts than Russia.
Это, собственно говоря, рынок высоких технологий. Здесь
This is
достаточно жесткая
a market of high technology goods, and therefore it is a highly competitive market.
У нас с Китаем тоже
With China, we
огромная
also share a
граница.
very long border,
Как вы знаете, были
and we
споры
too
периодически
have
между
had our
Советским
border
Союзом и
disputes between China and the Soviet Union then. At
Вместе
the
с тем
same time,
постепенно
we are
урегулируем
gradually resolving those problems.
еще одно очень важное обстоятельство.
And there is yet another very important point.
Я сказал, что на рынках вооружений идет достаточно
As I said, very
конкурентная борьба.
tough competition is going on in international weapons markets.
Вместе с тем, Россия не поставляет
And at the same time, Russia is not transferring, is not delivering weapons to conflict areas. And this is our rule.
И мы стараемся придерживаться этих правил.
And we try to abide by these rules.
Между Индией и Китаем, слава богу,
There
нет
is
никаких
no
конфликтов. Я
conflict
надеюсь,
now between India and China, and I hope there will be no conflict in the future.
и чем больше мы будем
And
работать
the
в
more
направлении
we
укрепления
keep
отношений в
developing
том треугольнике,
relations
который вы
within
сами
the
сказали,
triangle to
Россия,
which you
Индия,
have
Китай,
referred,
тем
the
быстрее мы
more
добьемся этого
successful
позитивного
we'll
результата.
be in achieving that positive result.